We have a few minutes for questions. I'm going to circulate around and share the mic with folks. So raise your hand if you've got one. I'm going to sneak one. I think it's all me first.
Good morning. Just wanted to see what your intake process was for ideas as you go through that sort of transformation into town. I imagine a lot of people have a lot of ideas. How did you take them in, and then how did you cycle through them to determine what you wanted to do, what you wanted to do?
Interesting story. So I was sitting in a room with Kurt Bradley and Donnie Odom, and some people you know here in Chatham County now, and a few other stakeholders. Chamber of Commerce was my role back then. This was 2011 or 12. Who can we get to run for city council? We've got to get people that care. And so the number one thing was we started going around talking to people, asking them, what do you want to see? How can we make this place better? How can your business thrive? And would you help us? Would you write a check if you needed to? We got to get those commitments. So we basically I did a listening tour. And I went around and knocked on doors and had my friends and my colleagues who made this a real success, had them go ask people, how can we do this? People that didn't want to see the growth because they were concerned about taxes. What if we did this? If we could lower personal taxes and increase the tax base, would you be behind that? Let me show you our plan, that blueprint. I wrote this blueprint before I got elected and went around with it. Could you buy into this? And that's really how we got the input, the ideas. It came from just asking people like you in this room, what do we need to do? If time and money was no problem, what would we be doing right now? What would you like to see? And that's how we came up with a lot of it. My service on the Chamber of Commerce, I was the chair there for 3 years, and before, we spent a lot of time on goal planning and what we wanted to see, our business community wanted to see. So I kind of knew some of the ideas going in, what we needed to do. But that's how we did it. We just went around knocking on doors and asking for meetings. It's not scientific, just hard work.
I was wondering what you thought about the Carolina Core and how that's going to impact Sanford and the area.
That's a great question. I tried to be short.
Go ahead.
The Carolina Core is an awesome opportunity. When I say you're sitting in the land of opportunity, you're living right now in the land of opportunity. 20 years from now, you're going to be really glad you were here and working here. The Carolina Core is transformative. So Chatham County has 2 mega sites. And one of the reasons that we had so much success, Chatham County came to us, hey, will you finance building a sewer line from Sanford to Moncure? We got this mega site up there. We don't have any sewer and water. Yeah, we'll do that, but I'm not interested in financing it. We wanted to be a partner in it. And Dan was gracious enough to, I got 2 mega sites. I can't fund both mega sites. So yeah, we cut a deal to get a piece of the property tax in Moncure off anything from that sewer line that we ran for Sanford for the next 50 years. So that was a landmark deal, never been done. In this booklet that you saw, Diana Hales actually championed that. She thought it was ingenious. She got behind it. The Carolina Core will probably create 100,000 jobs from Greensboro to Dunn through Sanford and Fayetteville over the next 10 or 15 years. It's going to be transformative. So, it's going to have an interstate designation through there. You probably wouldn't have the mega sites flourishing like you did now if it wasn't for that already in the works. So it's going to be a huge draw nationwide for people moving to the Carolina Core for work.
Let's do about 3 more questions.
Okay.
So I'm kind of starstruck by all your accomplishments, but I didn't catch your name. There's so much going on. Could you repeat your name, please?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Chet Mann. I'm Chet Mann from Sanford. Yeah.
Again, I'm astonished by all your accomplishments. And you mentioned having something to do with China. I had met Duke University rocket scientist students from China, and he and I had some conversations and maybe get some investigation going. And I found out, I didn't mention to him, but China has purchased Smithfield.
Right, the pork unit, yeah.
They purchased Tyson's, and head currently of KFC International is a young Chinese guy. I was in Martha's Vineyard. There was a whole truckload of whelk, those shell things with the snails in them. The whole truck. I said, oh my God, where? They said, don't worry, they're all going straight to China. So is there anybody keeping an eye on us selling ourselves to China and waking up one day finding out we're the farmers for China?
I don't know if I'm qualified to answer that question.
Hold on.
Yeah, you're magic. It says ask again later. I don't think we're a threat to China. My opinion, China's got a lot of problems, and they're not in any position to take us over at any time. They've got so many internal problems in China. They're not the superpower threat we think they are. I tell you what we do have in common. Sanford made pottery for the last 150 years. They've made pottery for the last 7,000. That was our common bond. And we had a Chinese curriculum class where we were teaching English at Central Carolina Community College. And that bonded our sister cities together. So we went there to share our commonalities, not our differences, and they treated us like royalty. In fact, I was treated better in China than I've ever been treated here. Not that I've been treated poorly, but they treated us like rock stars. So it's an interesting culture, and it was a great trip. It got a little frosty with federal politics, but we taught our citizens that we could bond together over common things. Education and pottery, they call it ceramics, and it was really a great experience for our city. Yeah.
Two more questions. I'll let y'all fight over it. Go ahead. There's two people here. Renee,
Mine's really quick. Is that booklet available?
It can be. It's not really. It may be on the web somewhere, but maybe Katie could send it to people.
yeah, if we get a link, we can send it.
Okay, she's got it. It's a PDF. Thank you. Yeah, I was honored to have somebody that wanted to commission that and kind of commemorate what we did. Yeah, glad for you to have it.
So you mentioned the mega site at Monture, obviously VinFast. Any updates on? I know it keeps getting delayed. VinFast happening? Not happening?
There's not a really great update. I think that the option or whatever VinFast has expires in 26. At that point, they have to make a decision if they're going to move forward or not. So if they don't move forward, it'll go back to the state of North Carolina. And I got a feeling some people in this room will have that thing filled up with some industry that'll be game changing. So if you're in the real estate, commercial, financial services, any kind of service business, that'd be a great place to be watching over the next 20 years. But yeah, I can't really speak to that. That's more state level right now, but that's what's going to happen. 26, they make a decision. We feel like we're not going to move forward. That's just my opinion. Yeah, but we'll feel that base. If you fly over it, it's a completely ready to go pad. We ought to be able to land some big fish with our economic development team.
One more.
So I've been downtown and it is beautiful.
Thank you.
My concern is that there's so many open storefronts.
Well, great point, but here's what you don't realize when you see these open storefronts. A fellow named Jim Goodnight Jr. has bought all those storefronts, and he's sitting on them waiting for the right fit, the right thing for this downtown. So he's renovated the old bank building. He's just going to take his time and give us what he thinks or what we think the city needs. So all those, I know I'm with you on that. There's some large storefronts, but Jim Goodnight's son owns those, and he has got a great reputation of doing redevelopment. He loves old brick buildings in small towns.
Tell them about the RISE program, which we got from the West and then brought to Chatham County as well to fill up the store.
Yeah, Dr. Chapman could probably tell that story. She's here from the community college, but our downtown was going so well that we created a small business curriculum through our small business center at the college and our downtown Sanford Incorporated group. And so we actually have a school. You basically come in, you sign up, and you take small business classes. You develop, you do your own business thing. You come up with a business plan. It's a contest. You're awarded a scholarship at the end. We got the idea from Marion, North Carolina. They had started something similar. In fact, we went and presented them a check because they were struggling with the hurricane relief, and thanked them for their inspiration. But we have spawned, Lisa, do you know how many businesses? I can't remember now how many small businesses have come from that.
11 or 12 downtown.
Yeah. We've created 11 or 12 businesses in the last few years from downtown. So you're going to see those spots fill up and transform. But we have a really well-established benefactor there that knows how to do it right. He's taking his time. So keep coming. You're going to see them change over time. Thank you.
All right, put your hands together for Chet Mann.